Okie dokie. That's perfect. Great.
Onegaishimasu.
Right, let's just stop a little bit of loosening. Let's find the shoulder width posture. Just gradually taking the arms up to the side, keeping the force going all the way up to the top. Lengthen a little bit the arms up to the top. Coming all the way down. Sense of length through the arm all the time. Coming up. Down. More time coming up. Down. Let the arms release down. Find the toes. Let the heels spread the ground. Just change the hands so your fingers point forwards, pressing down gently. Creating the length down the arm. Spread the fingertips a little bit away from each other. It's the same, let the fingers go back. As you can, spread and open the shoulders. And to the sides, press up. Palm out, fingers down. Raise the front, pressing the hands out. Spread the fingertips. And same palms down. So to the top, the fingertips toward each other. This one, spreading them out. And bring them down. Let the feet settle. Take the body forward and backwards. The arms release. The shoulders to go over the hips. And a little bit of tension up with the arms. Looking about kind of bowing front of the body, shifting back, and bowing the back of the body. Take it forwards. Come onto the toes if you like. Oh, go between forwards and backwards. Engaging the back of the body, engaging the front. Okay, great. Let's take out the sides, move them a little bit. Roll them out. Just placing the arms in the chest. Just play with rolling out the elbow. Extend out the shoulder. Rib. And play with keeping the opposite hip also a little bit more grounded. Pull and open up. Pull and open up. Good. Good. Yes. Right, just take into a nice and light rotation. Release the arms again. Allow the head to rotate a little bit further each time. Activating the legs a little bit, just give the legs a little bit of freedom to come in and out of the ground. Just be careful you don't twist into the knee. You just have to open it up a little bit more. And take it down as well if you like. Nice, big, open movement. Just play one thing, which is just whipping the arm to anywhere. So I choose where you're going to take it. So I go, I'm going to take this arm to this shoulder, and then just do it. I'm going to take this arm to this hip. Do it. Play with anywhere on the body. Watch the head. You want to slap yourself in the head. You go to the rib, go to the hip, you go to the knee. Let it choose a place. Let it go. Try and avoid kind of carrying it over. Just allow the body's going to swing it in. Let the arm follow it. Get settled into that place. Watch. Watch. Yeah. Great. Good, good, good. Very nice. Good, we're just going to open and closing. Just really emphasize this now, again, working the legs. When you close, really play with also closing the legs down. And then when you open, play with opening them up a little bit. So just mobilize the feet in a way that's going to allow that movement to happen. Might mean shifting the weight onto the ball of the foot, might mean shifting to the heel. Just play with it, but play with opening, closing down, close down, and open out the Good. Good. Okay, then play with one thing, which is closing the body as much as you can. So really close the whole body up, arms, whole body, and then play with opening out as much as you can. Open out, you're probably going to find the arms want to come up to the top. Think about like a big kind of star shape in a sense. And then closing. Close down as much as you can. If you can go into a squat this early in the morning, go there. And then open it out. Just play within these two ranges. All close. You might want to feel the breath goes into it. So you probably, as you close, want to breathe out. And as you open, breathe in. Just explore it, come in close. Open it out. Close in. And just notice you have to follow the breath as you do it. Close in, open it. No, that's it, nice, yeah. One more times. Great. Okay. Next breath in, just allow the arms to come up around the side. Let them trace through the center line. Just let the head follow it. Down, down, down. Release the spine as you breathe out. Just take a little bit of time here just to release the shoulders out, spine. Take a few natural breaths as you do it. Draw the body up again. One more time. Nice deep breath in. Let's come up, over, travel down. Let the head follow. Curl the spine all the way from the top. Down, down, down. Release. And release the shoulders up. Gently coming up. Take it to a nice forward fold. So breathe up nice and deep. A little bit of a back bend, hinging the hip, bending the knees, lengthening out. Breathing out all the way down, and then curling back up to the center line. Chin up. And down. And up. And down. And up. And down. More up. Down. Again, just let the head release towards the ground. Try and get the palms in contact with the ground. A little bit of a bend in the knee. Release out the legs, release out the shoulders. Gentle pulse from the core to the hands, to the feet. And relax the head, relax the neck, relax the face. And nice and slow, pulling yourself back up. Just stop at the knee. Yeah, and just flexing the spine, curling up and curling under, tucking under. couple more. Great. Come back to neutral, your body up. Just do the same thing here, but just using the arms as well. So open out here, and then curve forward here a little bit, kind of diving motion with the arm. And opening out. Spread onto the back. Let the neck go back if you like as well. And then curve forwards, lengthen out. And open back. Open forwards. Open back. One more time. Right. And just taking the hands into a prayer position, just to kind of loosen the spine off again and the neck. So just follow the hands. You know there's two ways. You can let the hands go with it and just let the body follow, or you can think about the hips go and the hands follow. It's kind of working the same thing, but you might find working the hands a little bit easier in a sense. Just let the body kind of follow. Then work the legs a little bit. If you want to go down, follow it up. If you want to go up, follow it up a little bit. Just let the body naturally adjust to the movement of the hands. You lengthen out, let the body lengthen. You coil down, coil the whole body. Good. That's it. Nice simple exercise. And then just imagine, we'll go into some BOKKEN later. Imagine you've got basically the edges of the hand are sharp, basically, so you're doing kind of cutting motions down. And allow the hip to basically keep cutting with the hand as well, so that hip cuts the hand, follows the hip. Cuts the hand, follows the hips, cut the hands, follow. Just working with the kind of blade edge of the hand. Diagonal slices, horizontal slices. Think about also the raising motion as well. If you think about like a 𝘱𝘰𝘬𝘪𝘏, think about like a sharp raise up and a cutting motion down. Really focusing on the connection between the hips and the shoulders, and the hands basically transmitting that mobility as well. And then just start to give the feet a little bit of freedom. Keep the motion here because it's easy now to go like I'm moving the feet and the hands stop to really kind of do anything. So focus still on the hips doing it and use the fact that now the feet can move to increase the mobility through the body. So really use the fact that the feet are now in motion. Really open out the body a little bit. So you can think about two things. You can think about sword work, or you can think about also taijutsu work, all these kind of movements that we make. Taijutsu, which are just really expanded motions that we do in the sword work. Good, great. Great. Good. Okay, good. Just play now with expanding the grip out. So come back to this position as you do it, but as you do a movement, the easy ones, if you think about the kind of raise, but think about basically opening up the space now, and allow the fingers also to go into more of an extended position as well. So palms together here, find a motion, and as you do it, feel that there's like a wedging from the hip and the shoulder, this, and then open it out, and then as you pull back, just find another movement. Pull back, find a movement and expand it a little bit. Come back, find a movement and open it out a little bit. Find a movement, something like that, open it out. Find a movement, open it out. Good. Good. And then same thing, just keep the hands separate now. So feel that they're working together. So when one moves, the other moves. They're moving together, they're moving together. But just feel that you can start to open it out now. So open it out. Keep it open. A nice image to use is if you've got a kind of ball in the hands. So you've got like a big ball. Something bigger would be better. And think about the hands basically rolling, moving together. Rolling, moving together. And again, working from the core of the body out. So focus on the core and then mobilizing the hips, mobilizing the shoulders, mobilizing the hands. Nice strong grounding as well. You get kind of stuck with this. The problem is it starts to be open and I start to kind of stop knowing what I'm doing with the hands. Keep returning back to this idea of cutting with the body. So think that you've got these big kind of circular motions now with the hands, but think that the core of the body has this feeling really of cutting through the space, through the space, through the space. You might also find it easier just to do one hand. That's the case, just do one hand. Yeah, and Maya. Useful again to kind of give yourself a few limitations as well. So something like I just look at like an ikkyo. So I just look at like ikkyo movements. I go here, I go here, I go here. Another kind of ikkyo. I go here, here, and I go there. So like there's a few kind of techniques which are in a way easier to work with at the beginning. It's generally the ones we do at the beginning of training. So like ikkyo, shihonage is a great one. Kotegaishi. All the entries you do on those movements. Right. Good. And Maya. Here we go. Great. Great. Okay, super. Take a bokken. We will do some. Look. Good. So just start nice and clear with the first degree, just really clear vertical line through the body. Find in the back, pause if you need to, and then find the cut. Just releasing it down for now. Get that kind of clarity of the movement. Find a line, follow it, align the whole body to it. Nice.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out an exercise for this. Just notice one thing in this, which is this happening with the body. So as you go into the cut, especially when you release the cut, this tends to happen. So the body starts to do this kind of fall over, basically. Just play with placing the bokken here. You can lightly take it. You can just kind of grip it slightly. Fixes the body lightly here. Notice the difference between if I go here, this is fine, and then if I go here, the bokken starts to kind of fall out. So it starts to basically fall away from the body. Take it to the body here, and then think about the hip mobilized, but this stays long basically. So this basically going forward, this going forward, this going forward without basically dropping down, going to collapsing. So kind of really common posture we've got now because we're kind of spending a lot of time here. Play with being a little bit more open as well, but keep that mobility in the hip. So the trick is like, how does the hip mobilize and engage without losing that kind of the length in the upper body. So you can do that. The other one you can do is a bit trickier that way with the saw basically coming out. So think about kind of you pull back. Now I don't want to do this where that everything kind of collapses down. Think about coming here and think about rolling in forward, rolling in forward. There is obviously a slight incline of the body. You don't want to kind of stay upright like this. This in, and allowing the hip to really do the job of the top, but I don't want the hip to be stiff and then the upper body kind of does it. Just play somewhere in that range. Just kind of get a feel for what's happening here. It tends to be a bit of a problem area. Yeah, and that's the other one. Yeah, good burn. That's the other one. Bring it to the spine. So you tuck it into you've got 3 points of contact, tailbone, looking at the back of the body, thoracic spine at the top, and then the back of the head. Now notice, especially if you've got a really flexible spine, the tendency is to do this, kind of pull the sternum out or stick the butt out. So allow particularly the second point of contact, the upper spine, allow that to stay full in it. So you're just focusing on engaging the hip, flexing the hip basically, keeping the back long, engaging, breaking the vertical, because you're going to really engage into the cut with the body. And letting the hip flex. Especially the front one, but also that's the back as well. The back hip's also flexing. So. Good. And then last one, place it at the hip. So you just right at the hip level. Notice that the main thing with this one is you've got a kind of triangular position on it forward. You pull into a kind of square position with the hips. So you're pulling that foot back, the hips go square on, and then you're drawn back into that triangular position. Again, notice the sternum wants to kind of push forward into it. Just keep the feeling that the body's basically stacked onto the feet, and allow the hip, now the feedback in the bokken, or with the bokken, is whether the hip is actually creasing into the bokken. So am I able to slightly crease the hip into it, or is it just kind of stuck on the outside and I'm kind of pushing the hip forward? Focus on basically that it's the difference between moving the hip and mobilizing the hip. You want to do both, but mobilizing the hips is kind of fundamental part of it. Yeah. We'll do one more, which is for the back leg. So just place it on the inside of the foot, just somewhere around here, just to give you a bit of feedback on the knee. So one problem with this posture, if we go here, we do something like this, that the knee kind of goes in, basically collapses in down. If you look at that position you emphasize it, or you exaggerate it, you're kind of pulling the knee into this position. Think about that position of the knee. So it's basically going really towards the feet. If you exaggerate this one, you're basically just working the joint as it's supposed to work. If you exaggerate this one, going against the joint. So just gently place the bokken here. Again, you're pulling the leg along, and as you go into it, that happens. That happens. Kind of pulls the bokken away. Again, if I use the knee, the knee will either separate the hip and the foot, or it will strengthen the connection between the hip and the foot. You look for the one that's going to kind of strengthen it. Lengthen it down. So Yeah, and you can also play with it in the front foot as well, or in the front leg. Similar kind. The main one with the front leg is that the knee doesn't track out or track in, something like that. That it just tracks forward, so that the knee should basically just pass forward, and it shouldn't kind of kick the bokken out. This is a bit more important later when we're doing the kind of ski work, or we're doing like number 7 with the kind of roll, but let the knee basically track there rather than get it pushed out somewhere like that. Good, okay, perfect. Great, so with all that, just takes us into the first 𝗧𝗪𝗓, go into a full extension cut now, so full power into it. Just notice those points of contact. So first one is that kind of sternum, whether it kind of collapses down, like that, try and avoid that one. And then the main ones like the hip, really getting the hip, flexing. And just notice what's happening with the knees. Especially the back leg, you don't want it to feel like it's collapsing in somewhere there. Strong back leg as you do it. Think about just working with the natural curves of the body. You don't want to over curve them. You don't want to make them rigid. You want to just let them take their natural strong curve position. Yeah, good. Right. Good. And then just take this to number 2. So allow yourself to come back, roll up. Same points of posture here. So engaging the lower legs, the body, flexing through the spine, but not overextending or tucking it. Settle into it. Okay. Feel how the weight is settled through forward. So more challenging in the sense that you're taking the body backwards, forwards, and again, you're asking for all that mobility to work to be engaged and aligned to the movement that you're doing. So that's a nice, strong, powerful movement. Notice one thing here, which is something that happens from the first 𝗧𝗪𝗓. You might have the habit to do this, so check it in the first 𝗧𝗪𝗓 as well, which is the foot goes first and then the body delivers the strike. So it's something like the foot creeps and then I go. Sometimes you'll see teachers do this. Maybe they've got really bad knees. Maybe they place the foot because they're trying to secure the foot and then the knee can release into it. Try and avoid doing this. It's not that it's wrong, but later the follow on from that, if I do this in movement, it looks something like this. The foot goes back and then the body's behind, left it. So just focus on basically delivering the body. It's just what you do naturally when you walk. So you don't like place the foot forward and then bring the body forward. It's like a really unnatural way of moving the body. You just step. And the foot's there to catch the body, right? Not the other way around. The foot doesn't go first as a messenger and then deliver the body. The body goes, whoa, and then the foot's there to catch it. That's the kind of job of the foot in a sense. So if you think about, really it should be, if it goes against the way things are naturally move throughout the day, either I'm moving badly naturally during the day, which might be the case, quite probably, or the movement is basically working against the principles that I would naturally use the body. So it could be either one, could be, maybe it's both. But try and do something which is a little bit more natural in this case. So just move the body in and then just move the body forward. So and you want to, there's this saying from Musashi about like your daily, your martial arts practice should be your daily practice, or your posture. This is about posture, but it's your posture should be your martial posture, and your martial posture should be your daily posture. It should be the same thing. There shouldn't be like two different things. I shouldn't really be using the body in two different ways. I have different functions, obviously, but the principle should be the same. And if they're not, why not? Good. That's very nice. Good. And then this, we'll go to 4, which is basically just working both sides of it. So as you do this, just again, focus on delivering the body forward, really just as if you walk. And later when you take these forms to the 𝘗𝘦𝘴𝘏, you're really, you need to be using a kind of natural way of using the body, not a kind of, formalized way of using the body. There is obviously technical aspects, but just think about delivering the weight forward. Delivering the weight forward, let the whole body follow that. The problem now is how to deliver a cut as you just walk forward. That's the hard bit. Okay. Okay. So the initiation in that sense is really just like moving the body forward, just as if I were initiating a step through. The change needs to be when I transition the body into cutting. So yes, you mobilize the body in terms of walking, but then go to the idea that you're really cutting with the body. So the back hip, focus on the back hip, basically able to initiate it, come in and bite into the ground a little bit. So focus on as you step through naturally, the foot goes, and then into the hip. So you're allowing the hip to really like roll through and slide. It's an easier movement than the number 5 when you go to your corner. You're just basically passing forward, but let the hip slide. Let the hip slide. So the kind of initiation of it, or the delivery of the body is like walking, but you've still got this problem of like how to settle and how to cut from the hip, basically. Yes, that's it. That's it. Good. Play with stepping forward and backwards now. So 1 step in, Juka. 1 step in, settle, and then roll the body back. You've got to do a little bit more mobility to get back. Roll the back, find the back, cut forward. So the feeling needs to stay forward. So all this stuff about the sternum and the hip and the knee engaging through. Much more difficult to do in terms of moving the body back, engaging forward. Moving the body back, engaging forward into the cut. And just play with, you can do one on the right, one on the left, or the opposite. The left, one on the right. Good, great, perfect. Okay, same thing, work now with your 𝘗𝘦𝘢𝘵. So do 1 step in. here, and then one step back. Allow the sword to come over. When we do this in 𝗏𝑦, you tend to kind of just come up to the top and cut down this way. Allows a full range of mobility with this one. So let the sword release through and then find the back this way. So one step in, cut, 𝘥𝘠𝘦𝘢. One step back, cut, 𝘥𝘠𝘦𝘢. So when we do this in practice later against the 𝘥𝘠𝘦𝘢, you're just going to kind of track up. But for now, let the hip roll out. So you can play with two things. You can play with just doing it on the spot, getting the coordination down. And then if you like, take it into movement. You've got the same issue of how to mobilize the body to facilitate, in this case, this 𝘥𝘠𝘦𝘢. Good. Okay, good. And just think about one thing, which is the timing of when you're delivering the cut or when you're delivering the strike. Think about delivering it as you travel. So the main thing you don't want to do in this case is like, move the body, settle, and then cut. And move the body, settle, and then cut. Think about delivering the strike as you go, which is something like this. So you're cutting through the space, you're cutting through the space. The settling needs to be there, but I basically need to cut and move. Cut and move. So as you're delivering the movement of the body, deliver the cut as well at the same time. Think about again, stuff you would not probably do during the day, but if you think about delivering a strike, it would be the difference between like I move the body and then hit. I move the body and then hit. Or I just move, deliver the strike. Move, deliver the strike. It's one thing, one aspect, one movement.
Michael?
Yes, sure. You got a question? I thought you were waving by.
Yeah, I was. What does it look like? The difference between when you said delivering the settling first and then the cut?
Yeah. It looks like this. What? Looks like this.
You don't want to do.
It looks like I step, settle the feet, and then cut.
Oh.
I'm delivering the strike now, and I should have delivered it now. So I'm delivering it as I go. Think about I'm attacking someone. I don't like bridge the gap and then strike them. No, I just bridge the gap and strike at the same time. And basically think about if I was doing like a 𝘥𝘠𝘦𝘢 or something. That or that. So I'm delivering it with boom, there. And then the back foot's just there to.
So is the feeling of the settling and the cut, does it happen at the same time, or is there a momentary?
Yeah. But the cut is the cut. Think about like the cut is the settling in a sense. So it's not like with the first one which is the point from the beginning. So I don't do that and then that.
No.
I use the cut to settle the body. So the cut is the settling. The cut is the settling. Now before I finish the cut, I need to be in the ground. But I can't do this. I just split the movement in two. So it's fine. It's like where we start generally with training, but as soon as I've got the idea, I basically, this is where the Japanese system in a way really works in the sense that you just focus on the hand and the foot together. Hand and the foot together. Yeah, they should basically be working at the same time. Later that become a bit more elastic, a bit more natural.
Okay, thank you.
Something like that. But I don't want to basically split one move into two. That's basically where you want to go. Yeah, good. Yeah. Okay, good. Good. Okay, good. We're going to look at just the first part of the 𝘠𝑦𝘓𝑡𝑎𝑐𝑖. So working at number 1 with the slice out, and then we'll add the 𝘥𝘠𝘦𝘢 in. So you've got, in this case, really a 2-part movement that later becomes one, but you're dividing the footwork in this case. So you're in right side hammy, you're here, you're going to step out with the left foot, you go towards the center this way. So the person's in front of me, I'm basically tracking the tip to the sternum. So I'm going basically for the solar plexus. The idea is you use this part of the bokken just to hit the here. So you're basically hitting here and then following through with it. But just get the first step, which is your right side forward, neutral, relaxed, extended, and then let the whole body snap out to the left side. And you're looking for again a kind of percussive blow. If you had a katana, you could obviously slice through with it. With the bokken, you want to basically make a percussive blow. It doesn't need to be that hard. If you think about if you just going to tap yourself here, you don't need a big blow in the solar plexus to do this, to take the wind out of someone's arm. It doesn't actually need to be that powerful, but it does need to be focused. Okay, so it does need to have a snap to it. It does need to have a boom, boom to it. So just play with it. Do that, settle, and then snap out of it. Snap out of it. Just boom, and that's it. And if this move works, you don't need to go any further. If you hit the bomb, they collapse, fine. No more 𝘗𝑦𝘓𝗪𝑡𝗖 movements. Just collapse into it. Yeah, good. So that's it. Okay, good. Now the back foot is used to draw the sword up. So what you've got that movement kind of fails, so they avoid it. And then the risk is that my sword's exposed so that it can be struck down. And basically then I'm left open. So you use now the back foot, the right foot, to draw the sword up, pull the sword up to the top. Okay? The position you want to get to is with the feet not totally together, but more together here because I'm trying to set the hips up for the next strike. So you're pulling the sword out and you're bringing the sword up to the top of the head. Don't put it too close to the head because if the sword does get hit, you will hit yourself in the face, in the top of the head with the sword. So give yourself a little bit of space. It's 1 and then 2 comes up to the top. Somewhere around here. So you're still using extension through the arm, so you're not collapsing the body this way. You're extending the body into a seated position. So the feeling's like the best image of this is like sitting on a high stool, like a big high bar stool. So the body's basically sat in the feet. And just by getting into that kind of nice and neutral position with the feet. Later, this posture in a way disappears because you just basically flow through it. So it's a teaching aid for balance. In this case, this posture basically later just gets merged in, but it's that. Good. That's easy. Great. Very nice. Okay. And then just one more step before we go to the upper work. Just play with. You've got this 1, 2. All you want to think about now is just focus on the right hip, the right foot, and that's where you want to kind of anchor into the ground with. This is going to allow the left hip to mobilize. So you're here, and then you want to mobilize. The only test of this connection is whether, without moving the arms, I can mobilize the weapon. Mobilize the weapon, mobilize the weapon. So if I need to move the arms to do it, I'm going to twist the structure. So just focus on being here and then mobilizing the hip, and that should release the sword out to the back. If you feel you've got it, just follow through with it. You just go into the strike. That strike would generally be a low strike. Would go for the forearm generally. It can go for the head, but it would be the nearest target in this case is for the front arm in the person that's attacking. So you can make it to the head, but you will tend to be, especially in starting with a kind of really combat distance in that sense, you're probably going to be more on the arm than the head. But even if you've got targets, basically the side of the body. You're here, mobilize, take yourself into the head or the arm. Nice, nice.
Okay. Okay.
So we just had the last strike, which is a strike on the right side. So again, just get the feet nice and coordinated. 1, 2, 3 hit, and then you're going to bring the right hip around. You go off the line in this case. So it's a big movement here, and I'm basically striking for the head there. So you've got in a way 3 targets in this case. You've got the solar plexus, you've got the forearm, and then you've got the head that side. So bum, 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 and you're basically just working your way in this case. So I go for here, fails. I go for here, that gets blocked. I go for here, go for the head to finish. So it's 3 movements, 3 cutting motions. 1, 2, 3. And you can either finish that cut fully or just stop at the head, at the height of the head. And, yeah, good, 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 good. Okay, good. So feel free to stay at that level where you're doing a kind of basic, you're setting the body each time. If you like, and you're comfortable with it, play with a little bit more fluidity through it. So the feet are going to basically change the movement now. So everything follows the footwork in this case. So the feet are going to be a little bit more fluid through the motion. So that the footwork is going to allow this kind of like a padding through it, or you're kind of pleating the feet through the motion. So you're not now, if you go to this one, you're not settling the feet sticking, settling the feet, settling. That's where you're working with your kind of 𝘰𝘠𝘓𝗧. So if you go to this level, just play with it slowly. But you've got this kind of padding through the feet as you do it. Feel a bit like a cat, kind of stalking through a field. So I kind of think about as I do it. Kind of soft padding, everything going in and forward. Or you can stick to the 𝘰𝘠𝘓𝗧, settling each time. Yeah, good, great. That's so nice. Good, good. Okay, just one more time through it. One more time. Very nice. Good. Super, very good. Okay, we'll stop there. Very nice. That's the first 𝘰𝘠𝘓𝗏𝗧. That's the attacking move. Great. Domo arigato gozaimasu.
Domo arigatou gozaimasu.
Okie dokie. Very good. There we go.